Hello and welcome, I am Raziel and I want to talk about something today about a character nerf. I'm not a big fan of people being nerfed in the lore or, be given less attention or less power than they once had. And one of the biggest ones I have noticed is Abaddon, spoiler, or Abaddon, however you wish to call him. Usually he's called Harmless, Failbadon, and so many other words. However, if we read the lore, he's meant to be the big bad of Chaos. Now, Chaos itself has been subsequently nerfed as well to be more of a nuisance rather than a actual big bad threat. Now, Abaddon has suffered worse, and this kind of comes back all the way back down from 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and I think it's 5th when the first Apocalypse rulebook came out. See, when that came out, they had a campaign you could do, and it was Chaos versus the Imperium. And the thing was, with this campaign, there was a very important note about Abaddon, and that was that if he was not to be killed, if he couldn't be killed on the battlefield, they were going to exterminatus the planet. Now, exterminatus isn't a small feat, it is a huge undertaking. Sometimes it can be done straight away, like we saw in the Devastation of Baal, the Dante book, or one of the Blood Angel books, anyway, where Dante literally decided to destroy a planet to annoy the Tyranids. And that's why Baal got attacked, because Blood Angels took away a food source. Continuing that, so it is rare occasion that a planet gets exterminatus, and for it to actually happen, it has to have a severe enough threat on that planet for it to deem an exterminatus. Chaos invasion, not always. Even a fully fallen planet may not be exterminatus. An example of this one is Vrax. Vrax didn't get an exterminatus because it was deemed too important. Even to this day, it's never been destroyed. It's still there as it was. But, of course, we had the Cardinal who went full Chaos. It had the Khorne Berserkers, the Chaos Ogrins, Death Guard. There were many people there trying their best to stop the Imperium and, of course, the Death Corps of Krieg. So, where does Abaddon's nerf come in? See, like I said, Abaddon used to be this big threat. He was overpowered. He was almost on the level of Horus himself. He was the actual character, the person that Chaos wanted. They didn't want Horus, they wanted Abaddon to lead the armies. Because, I don't know, he was better minded. And back then, there even was a theory that was floated around that Abaddon himself was actually a genuine son of Horus. He wasn't a Astartes, like, all the other sons of Horus, like Loken, and Abaddon and Sejanus. He was he was meant to be human and actually either a clone son, as in a direct clone of Horus, or the usual way children are made. So this being this, and of course we had the overpowering from Abaddon by the Chaos Gods. Now, this is when it changes. We had the 13th Black Crusade. Now, what many people don't remember about the 13th Black Crusade, it had an Eye of Terror codex. It's a good codex. It's actually well written and it's fun to use, especially for modern days if you want to go back in history and play that old campaign. But it was decided upon by the players themselves. Games Workshop shops back then would run games. You'd pick a team and then you'd play at the shop, and then they'd mark down your win or your lose. And in the end, it was good guys versus bad. Certain people were considered good guys, Eldar, Tau, Space Marine, Imperium, and there were bad guys, Tyranids, Necrons, Chaos, and Dark Eldar. But the bad guys won, so that was it. And Games Workshop didn't like this. Games Workshop didn't want this to happen. They wanted Chaos to lose because Chaos were the big bad. And they should be the big bad. But they're not anymore. It's usually whoever is the flavour of the edition. At the moment, it's for Tyranids. Last one, it was for Necrons until the end, when they kind of started doing Chaos. And the one before that was for Death Guard and Chaos. And of course, we saw Chaos really coming to its own with the Vigilus books and the other ones as well. But this is where the nerfing comes in, where Abaddon was literally, if Abaddon was on a planet, that planet was marked for exterminatus. If he didn't die, they were going to destroy the planet while he was standing on it. Even if the entire Imperial army was still on there, Imperial Guard I should say, was still on the planet, he was going to die because they were going to blow up the planet. Of course the Chaos Gods weren't going to allow this, and the Chaos Gods would usually risk him away. But now he's sort of been put down to a minor nuisance. He wasn't seen for almost 1,000 years, and he didn't do much. He destroyed Cadia by slamming the Blackstone Fortress into Cadia, which was okay, it was a badass move, but there was only 6 in existence, so it was a waste of effort. And of course we have the actual retcon of that, where, the Blackstone Fortress was destroyed from the inside. It was made inert by Aldrad Ulthuan giving up his life. But Cadia, that's what Abaddon did, and he couldn't even, do that properly. If we go to the final battle of Cadia, he couldn't get Ursaka Creed. He ended up killing Colour Sergeant Cal. He puts his talon into Cal, and Cal spits at him and says, Cadia stands. And the fact that Abaddon went from someone who would have just torn him apart, not even caring who he was, to literally allowing him to have final words, it shows how much he's been changed. And again, back in the old days, he was the big bad. He was the worst thing the Imperium could imagine. He was the best of the best, made the worst. He was, the first company captain of the Lunar Wolves, and of course they're not the Sons of Horus. And then he turned bad. He turned absolutely bad. But now he's just this minor nuisance that goes around and just does stuff, and sometimes the Imperium takes notice. An example of this is when he attacked Cadia and Gunman finally got there. Cadia was holding their own before the help of the Sisters of Battle, the Sisters of Silence, the Adeptus Custodes, and Gulliman. They were holding their own against Abaddon, and they weren't really struggling. And it really was. Abaddon was losing so badly. That's why he destroyed Cadia. He didn't go, let's not do anything. And again, he used to have one of the biggest, fastest ships, was the World Killer ship. This ship was so strong, it could destroy planets in a line. If their planets were aligned in a system, he could destroy at least 3 of them with a single shot. But it's not an Exterminatus, that is just blowing it up with a gun. Exterminatus, there are many different versions. There's the virus bomb, which is most common. Oh, and something about the virus bomb, from a retcon point of view, it was illegal. It was actually stated as an illegal act after Horus did it. After Horus committed his atrocities on Istan 5, I should say, it was deemed an illegal act. You can't use virus bombs. They were banned outright. I know, the Imperium actually thinking about the Geneva Convention and stuff like that. However, as I was saying, Abaddon and now is this nuisance. He turns up and he gets his ass kicked. He's not even really, Space Marine fighting worthy anymore. The last couple of big fights he had was against the Imperial Guard. Space Marines didn't really even show up to beat him. And then here's the worst part of it. Khan the Betrayer shows up. A whole chapter comes to defeat them. When we saw during the Sons of Hydra book, the Khorne Berserkers, it was the Imperial Fists. And the Sisters of Battle Sisters of Battle were already there. It was a holy planet. But the Imperial Fist was sent to defeat the World Eaters. Last time the Black Legion turned up anywhere, it was an Imperial Guard issue. Even the Eldari don't worry about him as much as they did. He used to be a threat to them as well. He would destroy craft worlds on a whim. Like, he'd just get his fleet to go through craft worlds just to destroy them. He didn't care. Nothing stood in his way. Now he's always obstacles. Yeah, he loses a lot. Well, he's the bad guy. He's meant to lose a lot. But this is the thing. When he loses, he destroys a lot. That was the thing. Like, when he was a step foot on the planet, everyone just sights on him. And another bad part of this nerf was the Talon of Horus itself. The Talon of Horus killed Sanguinius. This used to cause fear and hatred in Blood Angels. Blood Angels, Death Company or not, had to attack Abaddon. They had no choice. If they saw him, hatred rules were, they had to charge him. That's gone now. Abaddon is just a nuisance. He's just another commander from another army, and he has been surely nerfed. It's a bit of a shame, to be honest with you, in the lore, because he deserves to be the big bad. He's Like, he deserves to be the one that the Imperium focuses on, and then go, yeah, we're going to attack him. He pops up, they just do everything they can to take him down. Because killing Abaddon does a lot of damage, well, should do a lot of damage to the Chaos Space Marines. He would be a massive morale drop. He, you know, the actual tenacity of their their loyalties would fail because Abaddon was the glue that held them all together. Kind of like Mortarion, but Death Guard can still work without him, because it's Mortarion. But Abaddon is the reason the Black Legion works, and this is why you see Thousand Sons, Khorne Berserkers, Death Guard, and Emperor's Children in the black armor of the Black Legion. So him being destroyed will damage that with traitors permanently. It'd be a wound they cannot overcome. Any of the other Primarchs, not really much of an issue. They can come back. They're demons. Abaddon can't. Though, of course, you can have chaos shenanigans. But Abaddon never was pretty much anti-chaos god. He always has been. It was like, we're going to give you all these powers, and be like, yeah, fine, give them to me. I'm not worshipping you, though. He wouldn't bend the knee until the Golden Throne was destroyed. And that's where he comes up with Let the Galaxy Burn, because he wants the Golden Throne gone. He doesn't like the Emperor. And now it's not even that. He doesn't do that anymore. He doesn't go out of his way to burn planets. He even went on a solo sojourn and even met the avatar of the Emperor, who was like really nice to him. And again, why would the avatar of the Emperor just not strike him down? That's what should have happened, but it didn't. Back in the early days, if there was an avatar of the Emperor, he would have struck Abaddon down there and then. There would have been questions, but now he's not as much as a threat, but the Emperor actually wants to parlay with him. There you go. This is this week's retcon video. I actually have some other videos planned for lore-wise, but I wanted to do about Abaddon today because he is an interesting character and he needs to be spoken about this horrible nerf in his lore. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know you guys like these retcon videos. You seem to really enjoy them. And I'm glad you do. I like doing them. I like reading the old stuff. I like reading the new stuff and seeing how they gel together and what changes have been made and how they act. And so, if you enjoyed this video, click on and you like Warhammer, obviously, there's Wayland Games down below. If you wish to save up to 20% on your Warhammer and free delivery after £20, or you want to try another game. They even do Lego. There's Forbidden Planet for your comics, your toys, your DVDs, your manga, all that really cool stuff that people like. I'd like it too because I get Spawn. And there is my merchandise, which is, cups, t-shirts, comics, all stuff drawn by me, done by me. And yeah, I'm just getting rid of Patreon. Don't even bother clicking on it. The link's down there, but don't bother clicking on it. I won't even be checking it, to be honest with you. Once I can get a chance, I'm going to just delete my Patreon. Anyway, thanks again for watching. I'll see you all again soon. Goodbye.